morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Facebook fam, Livingstone fam, Groove fam, all those that I call family, friends, associates, haters. So, like most of the time, taking my baby boy to school, and for those who may or may not have seen the video last week, I'm in a transition period on a personal journey. I'm not saying what that transition is, just know that I'm on a transition. But with that transition comes a lot of thought processes. And, over the past year, I've been working for a non-profit Christian organization. And it has me, I ain't gonna say in a loop, but it has me thinking a lot. And a lot of that thinking that I'm doing, because of the things that I'm allowing myself to be a part of, it made me think. I did a video some time back, I think it was recent, and I was talking about success. But the crazy thing is that I'm learning when it comes to success, when it comes to success, that's a little bit better. When it comes to success, we typically lump everything up into one complete group when it comes to success. But as I was driving with my baby boy in the back seat, and I'm always thinking about my children. Always thinking about my children. There's nothing that I do that my children don't come across my thought process or come across my mind, whatever term you want to use. So it made me think, as a parent, and this is more for dads or for the men. Let me say this the right way. This is more for men than it is for anybody else. Because unfortunately in society, men, we get thrown under the bus. We get left to dry. We don't get no credit for nothing. I ain't gonna say we don't get no credit for nothing, but we don't get nowhere near the credit that our beautiful counterparts get. And I'm not knocking mamas. Let's make sure we get that completely understood. Mothers get credit for things that sometimes there's no credit to give. As I said again, not knocking them, but I'm talking about fathers right now. I'm talking about dads right now. I'm talking about those the fill-in uncles. I'm talking about the stepdads. I'm talking about the stepfathers. Whatever the term is that you want to use, those are the ones that I'm referring to right now that are supposed to be men. But men in general. So when we talk about success as men, and this isn't me giving a thought process, this is just me really more along the lines asking a question and giving an answer. As men, when it comes to being successful, do we equate our success on our children, or do we put our children in the thought process of our success? If one child succeeds and another child fails, do we still consider ourselves as men as being successful? Anybody that knows, and I am a proud father of all 5 of my children. And may my oldest daughter, may she continue to watch over my family and her friends and her siblings especially. But my oldest daughter, before she passed, did some good things for herself. Let me make sure that is understood. Everything my children do is for the betterment of themselves. I don't need credit for it. The only credit that I get for when my children are great is the fact that I can say that I'm their father. That's it. I don't take no credit for, the only thing, correction, I take credit for one thing, and that's my children being respectful. whether I get the credit or not. My older children are very respectful. Even my 3-year-old is respectful. He can be a Sour Patch Kid, but he's respectful. Good morning, Miss Turner. But what I'm saying is, as fathers, are we successful when our children fail? Do our children make us successful, or do they make us failures? And I'm gonna be honest with you. You can be a street dude out there making money. You can be a street dude with all the OG statuses. You know, be that dude, and your children are not succeeding in school. As a teacher, I'll call a spade a spade. You got kids in the classroom that can't read, they can't count, they can't do the things that they need to do for them to be successful without you as a parent. The question again, fathers, men, and that word father and dad is used so loosely and so lightly that I don't think people really understand, and men that we really understand, that our children being greater than us is based on us giving them the things that they need. Oh, that little boy right there is the most respectful little boy, young man that I know. One of the most respectful. He's in my top 5 respectful kids. One of the most respectful. But now, I did say at the beginning, I'm talking to the fill-in father figures. Our children, if you are a part of a child's life, you dating their mom, or you are the uncle to a child, they're yours. Because they are going to repeat the positive men actions, no matter what you want. I don't consider myself to be the best guy in the world. I don't consider myself to be the best father in the world. I consider myself to be an okay father. I consider myself to be a decent parent. I consider myself to be a decent parent. But did I do it all? No, I didn't. But the things that I did do are the things that I feel like are helping my children become successful. Now, this is the crazy one. This is the craziest one of them out of all of them. That 3-year-old tests I'm not going to say my patience. He tests my mental fortitude to push him to be great. Some of us don't take that time out for our children to be great. But I'm going to go back to my original reason for this. Is a father's job is to make sure that his children succeed. A dad is supposed to love his child and provide for his child, but a father makes sure that the children is successful and succeeds. And by any means necessary, it is our job as fathers to make sure that our children have everything that they need. Keep in mind what I just said. I didn't say want. I ain't say nothing about want. Because our kids are just like us as adults. They want everything that they see. Unless you just happen to be blessed to have that one kid that doesn't want everything that they see. I have a stepson that I can ask that little guy, do he want something? He will say no. I will point something out to him and ask him, do he want it? He will say no, I'm okay. He doesn't want much. But what he does want, I don't have an issue with giving it. And that's the one thing when it comes to every man that has a child, or every man that is responsible for a child, for every man that pours into a child, every child wants one thing from their male figure in their lives, and that is attention. That's what they all want. They want the attention. The crazy part about that is, as men that have come from traumatic situations, we don't know and understand the difference between positive attention and negative attention. And I say we, meaning that at one point in my life, I didn't know the difference. We get with women for what I will call positive reasons. Some will call it negative. For positive reasons, we get with women. And I'm gonna name 3 of those positive reasons. They look good, they smell good, and they feel good. 3 positive reasons we get with women. But when those 3 start to run out, no matter what the 3 is, we decide to stop dealing with the woman, and we've had children by it. Or we decide to stop dealing with the woman, and she got children that we got attached to. That begats a whole nother situation. But we'll go back. We as men don't give our children what they want because we don't know the difference between positive and negative. The negative side of that is we get with these women that look good, feel good, and smell good, but they got a nasty attitude. And we knew they had a nasty attitude before we started doing anything with them. That's the negative attention. That's the negative. But we don't know as men, because of our experiences growing up, what positive and negative attention is. So when it comes to our children, we don't know how to give our children positive and negative attention. And when we do give our children attention, not knowing which it is, we screw our children up and then turn around. And I'm speaking to the men, I ain't talking about the women right now. We want to blame everybody else. But when we separate ourselves from the negative, that our counterpart, and we realize that that particular woman was not good for us, that don't mean that she's not good for somebody else. But that she's not good for you as the individual, you start to realize that everything that you was doing, and not all men do this. What's up, big bro? We start to realize that we hurting our children more by not giving them the attention that they need. We don't like the things that the mama does or do, the way she may speak to your child, the way she pours into the child, but what are we doing to negate it? What are we doing? Are we having a positive conversation with her? Or are we sitting down calling her a nasty, dirty garden tool? Or are we calling her a 4-legged animal? Are we referring to her as something that's derogatory, and then we do it in front of the kids and don't even realize that we're painting the negative, and we're teaching our boys how to treat women the wrong way, and then we're teaching our girls how to be treated the wrong way, and then it becomes a problem. We got to remember, in order for our children to be successful, and in order for us to be successful, we have to do the necessary work, men, again, for our children to be successful. This may get me in trouble, but the way I feel about it is 1 or 2 things with this. Majority of the people that's going to probably see this, I probably done had your child in the classroom because I was awarded the opportunity to teach. And even with me coaching your children at this point, as much as we want our children to play sports, and as much as we want our children to be successful in everything that they do, and I'm talking to the fathers again, we don't sit down and teach our children how to read. We don't teach our children how to write. But the first thing I hear somebody say is, but Sam, do you know how hard it is to turn around and do this, and this? And do you know how easy it is to go turn around and sleep with that child's mother? But you can't take 5 minutes out of your day to teach to read to your son or your daughter? or your niece and your nephew. Because what ends up happening is when you're the most active person, male, in that child's life, and you teach them to do things that the other parent may be trying to teach them as well, but you as the male figure in the house teaches your child how to read, that becomes a success for you, because the feeling that you get when your child can read, it speaks volumes. Because I've sat in the classroom teaching social studies, and I have children in my social studies class that have issues reading. And I'm talking about 7th graders. And I watch my 3-year-old as I'm reading to him and realizing my older 4 children, unless I'm wrong, because if I ain't mistaken, all 4 of my older children all graduated with at least a 3.0 GPA out of high school. And you can't tell me they just got a pass because they went to West Rowan. And West Rowan don't give out free get out of jail free reading cards. They don't do it up there. But again, all my children graduated a 3.0 GPA. All my older children can read. And I know they can read, whether they give me the credit or not. I read to them till the day me and their mother separated. I did something. Not everything, but I did something. I can't remember if I ever read to my niece. I can't remember. But again, a man's success is not just the work that we do in our personal lives as an individual, but it's the work that we do on those branches that come from us. They say the apple don't fall too far from the tree. If that apple is yours, you got to make sure that apple gets to its destination. And the only way that apple will get to its destination is if the father does his work. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna turn the corner real quick, and I really want y'all to turn around and think about this. From a spiritual standpoint, we as a people, we honor God. We quick to turn around and holler the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And, you know, God got our back. The Father's going to provide. The Father's going to do. The Father this. You know, God is going to, you know, the ancestors are going to provide for us. The ancestors are going to make sure we get what we need. The world is changing. A lot of people are becoming more spiritual and having more relationships with God. But the question is, even for those young boys out there that are starting to become more spiritual and starting to understand the dynamics of, you know, what's going on out in the supernatural spiritual world, the Father is still providing. The Father is still making sure that our needs are met. But in the flesh, we are expecting him to continue to reach and do and teach for us and make sure we got. But in the flesh, on the other side of that flesh, we can't even make sure that our children have what they need. We can't do it. But, you know, I'm going to leave it on that note. For those who stayed and, you know, listened to my rant, the old man Sam's philosophical moment, or I should say moments, I need y'all to really think about that, men. And please share my video. Please share it. Because people need to understand that your children are successful because of the work that we do as men. Not taking nothing again away from the women. What's up, Spoon? Not taking nothing away from the women, because the women are the lactile fluid. They provide the lactile fluid that nourishes our children. But the men, we are supposed to help. We are supposed to provide. That provision does not necessarily, miss you too, You at work does not have to be financial all the time, because sometimes the financial is the thing that everybody looks at. You at work, Spoon, is the thing that everybody looks at, but then turn around and forget that time and attention factor is a big factor in our children being successful. I'm going to say that again for those who missed it. Provisions. Spoon, you at work? It is needed. You got to be. Children also need time and attention. T-I-M-E. And attention. A-T-T-E-N. T out giving the other to make it make sense. But the one that, out of all of it, whether you want to accept it or admit it, is they need time and attention. I can guarantee you, whether you want to accept it or not, that every child, teenager that I poured into and I've had opportunity to reach and touch, yes, they would have loved my financial gifts, but I can guarantee you the time and attention that I gave all of those teenagers and those and children appreciates my time and attention more. And I know that to be a fact. And with that being said, God bless y'all.